Now that you have done your Jamboard, we've completed our survey, let's go ahead and look at what we're going to be doing with this information. We're going to be putting this information into a graph, specifically a picture graph or a pictograph. Now, like I said, it's a picture graph, so we're going to be using pictures to represent the data that we've just collected. A picture graph uses pictures. I want you to think about how many ice cream cones we can use. What are we going to do with those ice cream cones? Of course, we're going to be putting them into a graph. So let's go ahead and look at some graphs that we have right here. We have a picture graph right here. We see that there's a key down here. It says that each paw print stands for 2 votes. We see that we have cats, dogs, and hamsters as their favorite pets. So we see that the cats have more votes than the dogs, and the hamsters have more votes than the dogs as well. But remember that each paw stands for 2 votes. So if I see my cats, I see 1 paw, so that's 2. 2 paws, so that's 4. 3 paws, so that's 6. 4 paws, so that's 8. And 5 paws, so that's 10 people voted and said that cats are their favorite. Looking at the dogs, we have that as well. Remember, 1 paw stands for 2 votes, so 1 paw is 2. 2 paws is 4. So 4 people like dogs. In our hamsters, we have 1 paw, which means 2 votes, 2 paws, which means 4 votes, and 3 paws, which means 6 votes. So we can see that there are 10 people that like cats, 4 people that like dogs, and 6 people that like hamsters. Notice how I also have a title that says our favorite pets and our different labels. Let's go ahead and look at our colors over here. We see that we have a title, which is our colors. We have a label, so we can see that they had the option to choose between red, blue, green, or purple. And then the key, which means that every color represents 2 students. So we see that we can skip count. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 12 people chose red. Let's look at our blue. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So 14 people picked the blue. Looking at our green, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then it shows that we have half of a color. Well, we know that 1 full color means 2 people, so half a color has to mean just 1 person. So let's try this again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then that 1, which means 9 people voted for green. Let's look at the purple now. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So by looking at our picture graph, we can easily tell who had the most. Purple had the most. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be making your own picture graph. We're going to be using our other slideshow to help with this. So what's going to happen is you're going to have your directions. It says pick 1 graph you want to do. Do not do both. So we have an option on the side right here. You can either do a graph this way or you can do a graph this way. Do not do both. You pick 1. You either pick graph number 1 or graph number 2. You're going to use the data on this slide to mimic our picture graph. We're only using this data instead of the data from our Jamboard because not everyone from our Jamboard is going to be able to do it at the same time. You're next going to fill in your graph with your ice cream cones. It says don't forget the rest of your success criteria. You're going to also complete your ratio table based off of your graph. Let's go ahead and go back to our other slides and look at our ratio table. So we know that we have our students and we're going to be using ice cream cones to represent our graph. So just like our other graphs, we had our key. We knew that a paw print stand for 2 votes or a color represented 2 votes. So if I have my cones right here, I say that for each 2 kids, I'm going to have 1 cone. Or I can also say that if I have 4 kids, I am going to have 2 cones. Will represent 2 cones. If I have 6 kids, I know that's going to be represented as 3 cones. So going back to our assignment, looking at our graphs, we have two different graphs. Based on our information from this graph, I'm able to drag our cones into the right label. So I already have my labels. Looking at our success criteria, you need your title. I already made the labels for you. You also need a key. And then on the last slide right here, you're going to do your ratio table. All right, it's your time to do this. Go ahead and click out of this and go into your next slideshow.